Hey everyone, it is Jack again with Toy Dojo, and yes, I am back. It's been a while since I posted a review, but I'm back and I am doing this review on the DX9 Montana. I actually wanted to do this review when the sample was kind of getting passed around, but I never got to get one. So now that he's out, I wanted to take him and take a look at the final version versus the final version of the X-Transbots Crackup and kind of compare the two and see what we think about them and which one's better than the other. So first and foremost, taking a look at the box right there. I love this box. I think it's cool. Montana, obviously they got from Tony Montana from Scarface. You want to play rough? Okay. Say hello to my little friend. I actually can't do his impersonation, but it's probably garbage, so I'm not going to, I'll save you the trauma on your ears. But I do love this box work right here. The artwork reminds me of Grand Theft Auto Vice City. If you ever played that, it's on the PS2. Really fun game, probably one of my favorite Grand Theft Auto games, which I wish they could remake in today's graphics and all that because the storyline was cool, and then of course the whole 80s outfit of it was cool. But the artwork reminds me of this right here. So obviously Grand Theft Auto Vice City, they got the storyline a lot from Scarface as well as this whole thing right here. So really cool on the box art right there. Same right there. Who do I trust? Me. And looking at the back of the box here, you see some line art. Then it says the image shown here is indicative only. The actual product may differ. Yeah, I would hope it doesn't look like this when it comes out. And then on the bottom of the box, just the warnings. The one thing I find interesting is that last line. This product contains fragile parts. We cannot replace parts damaged in construction. But I'm like, you constructed it. I didn't. Maybe they meant damaged in transformation. That would probably make a lot more sense. So anyways, nice box, really cool. Let's get the box out of the way. And here he is. Let me pick this camera up to get him in there. And there is Mr. Montana himself. And he comes with his instruction sheet with the bio card. And then I flip him and knock him down, because why not? And there's that. He also comes with two items. One is his gun. Right here, just a blue gun. You leave it like this, and it's for his robot mode, or his vehicle mode right there. So that way it slaps onto his car. And you flip it out, and that'll go into his hand like that. Obviously, he is a take on a Masterpiece-styled breakdown. Now, there is no tab here to sit into his hand, nor is there a tab in his hand to kind of sit in this groove right here. So he just kind of sits in there just like this. You just open his hand, pull his thumb out, and just slide this in and close his fingers around it. And he holds it well. It's not going to go falling off anywhere. That kind of stuff. So, it's okay. And he's blurry. The next thing that he comes with is this piece right here. And so this piece here, and I'm going to kind of give you a history lesson. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of talk a little bit history about the Stunticons. So if you don't want to hear it, you can just fast forward it to a transformation, and in the comment section, I'm going to pin to the top when I start the transformation so you can bypass all that if you want to. Okay? So anyways, this piece here, there was a two-part episode, or two episodes I should say, in the G1 cartoon. And the first one was Key to Vector Sigma Part 1, and the second was Key to Vector Sigma Part 2. So Part 1 is when Megatron brings the Stunticons into play, and he uses this to put into them so he can control them with the remote control. So that's what this is for. Specifically on Breakdown here, he kind of puts it in, and I'll pull in my G2 Sideswipe just to show you, but he puts it into the engine compartment. So he flips this up and sticks it in the back of him inside and closes it down. But on him, it doesn't fit inside there anywhere, nor does it peg on top. We'll see whenever we get him transformed up. But that's what this is for right here. So, all right, going back to the Key to Vector Sigma. These guys are constructed because Megatron is tired of losing to the Autobots on the road. So what happens is the government is going to give the Autobots some super fuel. So the government's pulling it through. They got their guys taking it through. And the Autobots are kind of being like a security detail. So as you're going down, obviously Megatron gets in there. It's him. If I remember, it's Soundwave, it's Rumble, and then it's Dirge, Ramjet, and Thrust. And they're all trying to get to that super fuel. And, of course, the Autobots are on the road. The three Secret Jets are coming by trying to take it from them. But the Autobots, of course, are able to go and maneuver through kind of, what do you call it, roads that are going through some mountainsides, and the Secret Jets can't go into there. They smack him to the side of the mountain. Of course, Megatron's upset, and then Rumble, being Rumble, says, hey, the Autobots own the road. We can't do anything about it. Gives Megatron an idea. So he thinks, I'm going to go make my own. So he has Rumble go out and steal all these vehicles, and Rumble goes and steals vehicles, which become the Constructicons. And then Megatron, once he gets them back to their base, all of a sudden Megatron shows his, I guess he used to work for GM or Ford, and shows his construction stuff, and he goes out there with a gun. He starts slicing and dicing them all. Specifically with him, he takes him and he starts to cut them up and all this stuff, and then does whatever he does, turns them into robots. But, again, they don't have any personalities. So the only way to get personalities is to go to Cybertron and get Vector Sigma to give him personalities. So he transports them all to Cybertron via the space bridge. When he gets to Cybertron, he's talking with Shockwave, and Shockwave's like, oh, hey, by the way, the only way to get Vector Sigma active is you have to have the key for him. Of course, Megatron is like, great, you tell me that now. So they decide, we're going to go and rough up, what's his name? Oh, gosh, what's his name? Alpha Trion. They go to rough up Alpha Trion. He has the key. They go pretty much beat him up, take the key from him, head over to where the Vector Sigma place is. And Vector Sigma is their supercomputer who created or gave all the robots, all the Transformers, their personalities. So they go over to Vector Sigma. Autobots obviously are trying to stop that. They go in there as well. Well, the Decepticons are going down, and they run into these, I guess they're like droids that are guarding. I think they're Centurion droids that are guarding Vector Sigma's, like, him himself. So because Megatron has that key, he's able to kind of control those droids and sends them after the Autobots. So they go after the Autobots. They're able to sneak in, get into Vector Sigma, give all these guys personalities, and then the Autobots are having to fight with the droids and so on and so on. So that's kind of how these guys came to be. Part two of that series, we get the Aerobots introduced. So I might kind of stop right there. I just wanted to kind of give a little bit of a history lesson for those that don't know, their origins from the G1 cartoon. So anyways, here this guy is, and I'm going to pull the gun off of him. Okay. And taking a look at him, he's actually pretty good. I think they did a good job. Okay, so there's some things real quick I'm going to point out before somebody says something, because I know they will. These are not pushing all the way, and I'll tell you why. Because these are supposed to be flushed all the way, but when you push them in all the way flush, in order to get them back out, to put them back into his vehicle mode, it is such a pain in the neck. I mean, they're just so difficult to get out because they sit in so flush, and you really, when you try and pull them out, they don't. You kind of have to sit there and push through here in order to get them out. Same with this up here, right here. So you can see these here are not pushed in all the way. You can push them in all the way, but if you do, it's such a pain to get this out. So I just didn't do it just because I didn't want to sit there and have to fuss with it trying to get it back out to put him back into his vehicle mode. And he does come in vehicle form, but I decided to go from robot to vehicle because I haven't seen any videos of that. Also, I wanted to show there was a few folks that I saw were having difficulty saying that there was gappage when you put him into the vehicle mode, and it's not true. I think I know what happened, and I'm going to kind of explain that as well as to why they may have gotten that gappage issue. So anyways, looking at himself, I think he's really cool. He's white versus the cream color that we got from this guy right here. And obviously the big difference is the height as well. Besides the color, the height. So looking at them both, he is he is the exact size as the Autobot cars, which I'm going to pull in here. Sidestreak and Sunstreaker, or Sidestreak, Sideswipe and Sunstreaker, same size, right? Which is what they should be, because I'm like, they're the same mold. The Lamborghini Countach are the same mold, and so why they would be any different in height, I don't know. But if you go back and look at that episode, you'll see that, I'm going to pull these guys out of the way, that they are standing next to, when they're getting constructed by Megatron, they're standing next to Motormaster, who Motormaster, being that he is a full semi, is about the same height as Optimus Prime, who is about the same size as Megatron. So when I pull Megatron in that G1 episode, when they're standing next to Motormaster, they are at about his shoulder height as far as the other guys. So that's probably right. But then again, in some parts of the episodes, they're not as tall either. They're probably like right here. So that still puts him maybe a hair shorter than he should be. He should probably be about up to the chest piece right here. Maybe not this high, but about up to the chest piece, and that would have been okay. So there's that, the height-wise. You know, that's kind of, you know, whatever you think on that. Color-wise, okay, let's get to that. So in that episode, when Megatron first gets him, you know, I'm talking specifically about Breakdown here. He is this color, like he's a cream color. When Megatron's chopping him up into pieces, he's a cream color. Then later on in the episode, we see him and he's a white color. And then we see him again, he's a cream color. So I don't know what the artists were thinking about when they were drawing him back then and coloring up, but they completely, and this is with G1 altogether, they completely, you know, always mess things up. Autobots with Decepticon logos and vice versa. In that exact same episode when Megatron is flying into the sky, I think it's his left arm is pure white and the rest of him is gray. So they really didn't get all the colors right. So as far as the color goes and the height goes, it's going to be personal preference because they were both in that episode. Tall, short, white, cream color. So you really can't go by that. The one thing that they both got right was the red face. So they got the red face and they got purple eyes, which is cool. Face sculpt-wise, I think the one over here on DX9, I think that face sculpt looks better than the one over here on X-Transbots. Looking at them, he has more of a slimmer face. His is a little bit, I don't know, maybe, I don't want to say chunky, but just kind of wider face, a wider jawline, where his is a little bit thinner. So, I don't know, I think the face I like better over here. Overall construction of the vehicles, or of the bots, I think this one feels more solid than he does here. Not to say that he's not, but this one just feels more solid. Weight-wise, they feel about the same weight too, considering that he's a lot taller than him. But I think he has a little bit more die-cast metal than him. I think the only die-cast I felt in him was this little heel spur right here, and that's it. He's got some die-cast in the feet, got some die-cast on these little bars up here, and I think that was somewhere else. I can't remember exactly where, but again, I just think he feels a little bit more solid. But looking at them side by side, I think the engineering probably wins over here, simply because like the back piece, you know, is a lot cleaner over here. They took off some of these spots, so like with him, he's got the whole hood piece sitting right back here, giving him a little bit of a larger backpack. Whereas his, they took that and they split it up and put it here. Now, on one hand, that's good. On one hand, that's bad. For me, I like that the whole hood is one piece and it's not split into two. But then they had to put that on his back. Here, they're able to take that hood, split it into two, and then give it to him on his forearms. Thus giving his forearms some robot bits on it, whereas his forearm is just basically a straight-up block right there. So, you know, that's, again, personal preference. Going down to the legs, his legs clear up better. I think here he's got the doors back here on his legs and the tires right here on the inside, whereas his doors, or rather his legs, get in there more. His legs are kind of, they have the doors here, and then the tires right here on the back with some gappage there. Obviously there's gapping there too, but it's kind of hidden better with those doors right there. So, what they could have done, he's this way in the cartoon where he has this kind of like black line art. They could have done that here, just put some black paint in here. But that's easy, we can get pen and, or paint and do that right there, no big deal. They both have their, call it ab crunch right here, so they both have one of those. Now, the thing with his though is when you put him like that, his just automatically goes down by itself. So they probably should have made that a little bit tighter there. His, he can stand there and, you know, it won't do that. You can shake him a little bit and he won't do that. See, you shake him hard, it'll do it, but just the gravity won't take it down. As far as articulation, I mean, his head can look up a good amount, can look down, spins all the way around. His arms go all the way around as well. Shoulders come up. They can come up right here too. He's got an upper bicep swivel right there. Double jointed elbow bend right there. No elbow, but he has no elbow too when you do his. Coming down to the hand, he actually has like a wrist swivel in and out. The wrist does spin all the way around. His fingers do move out. So his thumb moves in and out right there. And then his fingers, they are all pinned right at the knuckle. And that's the only articulation point there. Now the pointer finger, though, is separate from the rest. So you can get the pointer finger and pull that away. But they have that, you know, curved thing about them there. So, but so does So is the X-Transbots version. Let's see, going down here to the lower portion, this hip skirt will flip up, and then we can get the legs to go all the way forward. You can get them to go backwards about this much, but if you pull it kind of out, then you can get it more. He's got a knee bend all the way like this. He's got some movement up in the top thigh there. The knee has a full rotation. Coming down here to the foot. Foot's got a tilt in and out, forward and backwards as well. Heel spur moves for transformation. And that's as far as articulation goes. Now the one thing about him, and his paint wasn't perfect either, because I showed you on my review how the window wasn't tinted right, and then like the paint on the back, where was it at? I think it was back in the bumper, was kind of oversprayed. So, but this one's got more paint issues. So we can kind of see right there where there's paint chipping right there. Zoom in there. Some paint chipping going on right there. Some scratches up here that were there when I opened up the figure itself. More paint chipping down here. There's more paint chipping, and I think that's where these guys kind of went out because of their molding theirs in this color versus painting it in this color. And they painted theirs white. So you kind of get that paint chipping, which is kind of unfortunate. But, you know, you can just get some paint job or paint and touch it up if you wanted to. And that's it. There really is no other things I guess I can talk about as far as in the robot mode there. I'm gonna pull in, what else I'm going to pull in here? You know, I'll pull in Soundwave, just to kind of show some more differences in height. Here's Soundwave next to him right there. Pull this camera up. Nice piece of Soundwave, just to kind of get an idea of how tall he is. Here he is next to my Hasbro Starscream. So he's about the same height as Starscream, which again, I don't think that's right. I don't think a vehicle should be as tall as a jet in robot mode, but I don't know. Again, I don't know how Megatron's auto-making skills were when he learned at GM. Maybe he decided, you know what, I'm going to make them more imposing and make them taller, considering he knew he was going to make them into combiners. He thought maybe he was going to make them bigger than the Autobot cars. Could be it. That'd be a smart thing to do, considering that he wanted to be the king of the road. And what better way to do it than to make them taller than the Autobot cars, right? So that's a plausible explanation. Who knows? Or it could just be that the animators messed up and the artists messed up back in the day and just forgot that they're supposed to be all the same height. I don't know. So anyways, there's that. And I think that's it. Let's go ahead and get into transformation of this guy. It's a pretty fun transformation. Can be a little bit of a pain sometimes. Again, these parts here can be a pain simply because of, like I said, once you get them pushed in, they're so difficult to get out. So let's transform this guy up. All right, we're going to start. Let's start here at the bottom first. Come down to these legs here. Pop open these right here. I'm going to pop them over. I'm going to do them both at the same time instead of one and one. So pop this open. Get this flipped out. And up. Close this up here. Actually, close up this heel spur into the foot. Kind of get that out of the way. And then we're going to get this. Rotate this up right here and sit that in. You can pop this piece open right here. Get all this out of the way. You're just basically opening everything up right there. Rotating this around. And now that you got this piece sitting like this, you want to get this foot, rotate this around, because the foot piece is going to sit into this groove right here, and that's going to sit right next to the window right there. Just like that. Coming around here, we're going to take this, rotate this piece around like this, and this will slide up into the thigh spot right there. Let's do the same thing over here. So again, open all this up. Take this, close this up, get this up and around. I'm going to rotate this down, pull this in out of the way, and get that up again into there, and then rotate this foot around, get that to sit up just like this. Rotate this at the knee. This will slide up into the thigh right there. And then also we want to get this piece here, because these are going to peg into those slots right there. This peg and that peg will go into those. But we got to get the legs and shove them up into like the crotch area. So one thing you're going to notice about this figure, pieces you're supposed to grab and like kind of pull out, you cannot do it freely. And I've got nails, so And you know, speaking of nails, this one actually broke when I was trying to pull one of these suckers out during transformation. So that broke that, and I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that again. So I just kind of left it sticking out. So you can't grab stuff though. Like here, I can't grab this piece, which I need to. So I just got this little star screwdriver here and just stuck it in there. Not going to mess anything up. Just put it in there just to kind of give it something to hold on to. And then pull it out like that. And then just slide all this up into there. And then flip that around. And now you're done. Just like that. So we're getting the bottom portion done out of the way. Let's get these. We can get this. We're not going to peg it in just yet because we got to mess with this right here. So we're just kind of leave this like that for right now. Alright. So coming up here to the top, we're going to unpeg this. And again, like I said, if this was pushed in all the way where it should be flush, it would really, really be hard to pull it out. You'd have to kind of pull on the neck here, and then I don't know if that's going to mess anything up if we were to do that. So that's why I'm not going to do that. And in reality, the only thing this is meant to do is to kind of keep the shoulders into place. So you just have them pegged in just a little bit. It's going to be enough to keep the shoulders into place and they're not going to pop out. You don't necessarily have to have them flush. Unless you plan on keeping it into the robot mode, then go ahead and push them in flush. But so just pop this piece out like this. These shoulders are going to come out like this and like this. Just like so. And now this portion here, okay, so when you get, let's open this up so you can kind of see what I'm talking about here. But these are slid up for his robot mode. The little screws here on the top. Car mode, you got to push them down. So you're going to get this, just push it down right there. And that's going to lock that into place right there. And now when you go to get this pegged in, you can get that pegged in there and then you get all this mess knocked out. So open these up. Actually, first we're going to rotate them at the waist. Rotate at the waist, then we can open this up right here. Pull this out like so. That's going to flip around. And then it inadvertently pulled this up, but if it doesn't, you got to pull this piece up like that. And then go ahead and pull out this here. And that's going to be the whole back piece of the vehicle right there. Okay. So let's get this. And now we can go ahead and just peg these in right here, just to get them out of the way. Peg one in, peg the other one in, okay. Coming down here, let's go and work on these. So when you're transforming this guy into his car mode, I talked a little bit earlier about things not fitting in and people saying like, oh, it doesn't fit in right. And I think the reasoning is when they're transforming him back to car mode, they're leaving this piece just like this, where it's going to be set in this way. And if you do that, I know that because I made that mistake and I didn't look in the instructions. I was like, I want to do it myself, and I left it like this. And so when I tried to transform it, it wouldn't fit in right. And I was like, man, what the heck? And I kept looking at it, and I was like, oh, maybe this has got to flip around. And it does, because two things. One, if it doesn't flip around, you cannot get where is it? These peg in. This peg hole goes into that peg slot right there. So you have to have that facing outwards, because if not, it's not going to peg in. And also, it's not going to allow everything to kind of sit flush. So I'm going to show you it the wrong way and then show it to you the right way. So let's go ahead and work on getting the actual arm squared away first. So take these, open this up here, pop open this piece right here. And then this piece again, if it's pushed all the way, it's so hard to get out. But you just take that, once you pop it out, flip it up just like so and push it in. Coming down here, you want to take the hand, close in the fist, or the fingers rather, rotate that around, and the fingers are going to sit inside the recessed area, like so. And then on this one, you got to make sure that this is flush. If not, you're going to have trouble. So make sure it's all flush. This is flat. That's flat right there. And when you rotate this around, you want this to sit to where this is going to be. Let's see, where is it? Yeah, that's got to be turned like this. And the hand itself is going to be flush up against the inside of this part right here. So take that and get that just like this. And then this piece right here you're going to take, spin it around, and it's going to sit and peg into there, right there. Now over here you get the hood, snap it down like so, and then you've got one side done. Alright, I'm going to put it the wrong way again. It's going to be like this, rotating it like that, and then it's going to be the wrong way. So we'll get that here in a second though. Alright, so let's do this one again over here. So let's open everything up. Pop this open right here. Pick that up, get this piece, slide it down, make sure it's pegged in. Get the fingers, close them up, spin the wrist around, close that down, making sure that's all flush. Getting this piece right here, and you got to spin it to where the blues line up right here, which will be the outer part of the vehicle there. All right, and then again right here, you want to take the fist, or the fist portion, rotate that around, so that way that is sitting on the inside, next to kind of like where the tire is at. Push that in, and this piece will come, spin around, get right into there, and then this will close up and snap into place right there. Okay, so again, I'm going to rotate this around so I have it wrong, which will be right there. And then I'll close this up here, close that up right there. Let's get this open up a little bit. Okay, close it up. And one thing I noticed is that this sometimes pops off. So if it does, it doesn't break, it just snaps right in. Let me see if I can. I'm not going to get it. But it did pop off on me, and I was like, oh, okay. It just pops right back in, no big deal. All right, come on. Get up in there. There we go. Okay. So essentially, this is already where people are starting to have the issues where things won't close up right, and it's because it's not meant to be like this. All right. So now you start seeing gappage, and you're like, okay. So once you have it right there, though, this piece right here, you're gonna take these and just fold them around like this, and this should come down here and sit right there. This one would come down here and sit right there, and then this would close down right inside here and snap into place. Okay. So that'll snap in, but then you get this right here, and then everything doesn't line up right, and you're like going, what the heck happened here? I have gaps up here, I have gaps right here, I can't get everything to line up right. And the reasoning is like I said, because of this section right here. It's just not done right. So if you're having that issue, I guarantee you that's going to be the problem right there. All right, because you're not going to get everything to sit in right. You're going to push it and be like, oh, it's not working. What the heck? Blah, blah, blah. So let's go ahead and do it the right way. Okay, so flip this out. Take these pieces back, because like I said, that's supposed to peg in. There's nowhere for it to peg in here, and that sits against the wheel and doesn't let the wheels roll, and then you're frustrated and you're going like, what the heck is going on with this figure? Why did I buy it? What the heck? And so no, that's not it. So take it, spin it around to where this part is sitting like that, and let's flip this back like so. Then take this up and rotate that up, and now that fits in a lot better. So take that, flip it, spin it, flip it up. There you go, look at that. Now that fits in nice and smooth. And then you got these spots here where this is going to come around and peg into right there. That's going to come around and peg into right there. And now you get this piece here, and this will just fold down. So earlier I said that this piece in the cartoon is supposed to sit right here. It would have been cool if they could have figured out a way to integrate it into the transformation, but it won't fit in there. It won't close down because there's not enough clearance in here. So that's a shame. But essentially this is useless because it's not going to fit anywhere on here either. It's just kind of a gimmick they gave you. So get this, close this part down right there. Make sure everything is closed in on itself. Come down here, and then you are done. Just kind of make sure everything is tight together. And there's his vehicle mode. And it actually is, again, a nice Lamborghini. Looks like just like the Lamborghini Countach. Looks like this one right here. Looks like the one for the other breakdown. So really neat. I think it looks cool. I like how they made these flip up, but on this one, that one just kind of falls all the way. It doesn't stay up. I mean, I guess it did right there, but it falls down. This one stays up. So it's kind of like he's winking at me. I like how the doors also have those doors that open up, but you don't see anything inside of you. You just see like the bits of the robot. But still, it's cool. It's a cool feature. The gun itself can fit here, but I just can't get it to go in there. I know it fits in there because it's supposed to, but it just, I know I'm not going to force it in there, but I think it's just like this is maybe a little bit too small or that's too big. I don't know, but it's not going to go in there. But it's meant to sit right inside there, and you can have his gun on top like so. And like I said, this doesn't peg in anywhere. I mean, I guess it could sit right there if you wanted to, but there he is. He rolls really well. I always love when they put rubber tires on these, on any of the vehicles we get, so that's cool, rubber tires. They spin freely, so that's nice. I like how everything is well hidden underneath here. The bad thing is, like I said, maybe the paint chippings, and I don't know what's up with that there. Let me zoom in there. I guess that's just maybe where they, I don't know what the heck there's on both sides. But that should have been black right there. I don't know why those little white spots are there. So aside from the paint issues, you know, as far as the chipping goes, I mean, it's a nice vehicle. He's done well. The rubber mode is cool. Again, it's just going to be a preference on do you want the height difference of that or not, and then also what do you want to spend. So this guy is $99.99, so essentially $100. This guy here is $50. So you take your pick. All right, do you want to spend $50? Do you want to spend $100? That's going to be completely up to you on what you want to do. For me, I spent the $50, and I'm going to stay with this guy because I just think that for the $50, I'm going to keep him in his vehicle mode and slap him on and make him into my combiner, and that's what it's going to be. So I think for me, he's going to be fine. I don't think I'll end up getting this guy here. Though he is a pretty nice figure, I think I'm going to stick with the other one that I got and just kind of be done with that. So I'm going to transform this guy up right here, come back and take a look at them both side by side. Alright, now that we have them both transformed up, we can see the glaring difference. One obviously is the color, but also the size. So taking a look at them both, putting them one in front of the other. Let me pick this up a little bit here. There we go. You can see the height difference there. And then also the width. So the width doesn't look much like on the camera here. But if I kind of show this angle here, you can see the difference where this runs down pretty much right to that where that window is. So it's this window down to the side of the vehicle that shows the difference in the width there. For another comparison, here is one of the Seeker jets. Right here, transformed up. And you can see how large he looks next to one. And then putting him on instead. So there's that. And as far as which one looks better, again, they both look like the Lamborghini Countach mold. So vehicle wise, I like this better that it's not broken here on the hood like this one is here. This one obviously has the lights that can flip up over here. Sides pretty much look the same. The backs, I think they clean up better over here on the DX9 version. Better than they do over here on this version. The front's right there. Aside from the, like I said, the split there, I mean, it's, you know, either one. On this one, I think I mentioned in my review when I did it, but that's, you know, was kind of missing, so that was a little bummer there. So the one better thing about this one being that it is molded in this plastic color here. The plastic itself is molded in that. Even the painting on the red there, you're not going to get all the paint chipping like you got on this one here. So plus over here on this side. Underneath, I would say that the DX9 one probably hides everything a lot better. Not that this one's showing a lot, but you can kind of see where the crotch is right there. This one hides it all fairly well, so the plus right there. And then talking about the bottoms, I'm guessing, like I think many others have speculated, that these are just going to be slapped onto a makeshift leg for the robots. So on this one, I'm not sure where they're planning on, how they're planning on attaching it. I don't really see anywhere, I guess, that it could attach onto. But on this one, you can see you got these peg spots here. You got this one right here, which I don't know why they didn't make one on this side, but that's, you know, one on this side. Then these two here, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then right here. And I kind of pulled it out because it's so hard. If it's laying flush right here, you cannot get it to save your life. There's nowhere to really put a fingernail or anything to pull it out. You'd have to essentially pull the chest piece back and then pop it out from the inside there. So, but getting that out, if I still can, I think I gave myself enough room there. Or did I not? Yeah. there's that little peg sticking out. So my assumption is they're going to use that, plus all these other spots here just to kind of slap onto a makeshift leg. And then that's how we get that. So I'm going to bring in the Total World Devastator like I did when I did his review. Just to kind of see, again, what these look like next to him. He's not, I guess he's not MP size, but it's close enough. And let's kind of see what, whoa, don't fall there, man. Stand up. And let's kind of look at what the legs look like. Let me pull this up a little bit. So again, slap on, that's the way that would look right there. Now mind you, this one looks smaller because it doesn't have the foot, whereas these guys actually have a foot built into them. He's just going to be part of the leg, so that's probably better. So I'm assuming they're going to have like a thigh leg piece that'll slap on. And then there is him. So obviously he's a lot larger. But it doesn't look too bad actually when I think about it. I thought it would look silly, but he is about as wide as he is right here. You know, when I put him side by side, I guess you really can't tell right there, but you can see that's about as wide as he is. So it's not actually too far off now that I put him next to him. He's a little bit thinner, obviously. But again, I think either one is going to look pretty decent whenever they finally get their combined guys up. What do you guys think? You think, you know, this looks okay? Or do you think this one's going to be better as far as for a leg? And then again, I'm guessing like in the cartoon they're going to be smacked onto the back of it. So it might just be like a plain front and then smacked onto the back. Or maybe have the option to put it on the front. Who knows? But anyways, that is it, you guys. I'm going to put a link in the description below where you can order this guy from if you like, from Toy Dojo. They have them in stock. And next review we're going to be talking about this guy right here, his brother, if you will, or not really brother. Well, yeah, I guess he were brothers. They were born from the same spot. So I'll be doing him next, taking a look at him, seeing what he's all about. This is just a sample piece here, so not near a final product, but we'll take a look at him and kind of go over him, see what we think about him. So thanks again for watching, guys, and as always, until next time, stay safe.